Okay, are you ready to step into the exam room?
I think so. Let's start with part two, where you'll have to speak for, like, up to 2 minutes on a given topic.
Okay, here's the prompt. Describe a place you've been to and would like to recommend others to live there. This place should not be your hometown. You should say, where is it? What is the place like? When did you visit there? Who did you go with? And explain why you would recommend this place to others.
Got it. Um, I'd like to talk about Chittagong, a beautiful city in Bangladesh.
Okay.
It's located in the southeastern part of the country and is known for its, like, scenic beauty and peaceful environment. I visited Chittagong 2 years ago with my family during a vacation.
Nice.
The city is surrounded by hills, rivers, and the sea, which makes it very relaxing.
Sounds beautiful.
It also has a low cost of living compared to Dhaka, and the air feels much cleaner. We stayed there for about a week and enjoyed visiting places like Patanga Beach and Foy's Lake.
Those sound fun.
The people were very friendly, and the food was delicious, especially the fresh seafood. I would recommend Chittagong to others because it offers a better quality of life with less traffic and noise compared to other big cities in Bangladesh. It's like an ideal place for families or anyone who loves nature and peace.
That's a solid start.
Yeah.
You've covered the key points and given a good overview of Chittagong. However, think about how you could elevate this answer to a Band 9 level. Could you incorporate more sophisticated vocabulary or provide more specific details to really bring the city to life for the listener?
Okay, I see what you mean. So for a Band 9 answer, I'd say I'd like to describe Bengaluru, also known as Bangalore, which is one of the most vibrant cities in India. It's located in the southern part of the country and is often referred to as the Silicon Valley of India due to its booming IT industry.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I visited Bengaluru last year with friends during a work trip. The city has a pleasant climate throughout the year, with lush greenery and well-maintained parks like Cubbon Park and Lalba Botanical Garden. It's also known for its excellent infrastructure, educational institutions, and diverse cultural scene.
That's great.
We spent about 5 days exploring the city, enjoying its modern cafes, traditional South Indian food, and lively nightlife. One thing that stood out was how cosmopolitan and welcoming the city felt. I would highly recommend Bengaluru as a place to live because it offers a perfect balance between career opportunities and quality of life. Its modern amenities combined with cultural richness make it an ideal destination for professionals and families alike.
Excellent. That's a great example of a Band 9 answer. You've used richer vocabulary like vibrant and cosmopolitan and included specific details that paint a more vivid picture of Bengaluru, like mentioning the famous parks and the city's diverse cultural scene. This not only showcases your language skills, but also demonstrates your ability to provide engaging and memorable information.
Wow, I can see the difference. It's amazing how subtle changes in vocabulary and the addition of specific examples can make such a big impact on the overall impression.
Exactly. It's like adding those extra brushstrokes to a painting to create depth and texture.
Now let's move on to part three of the speaking exam, which focuses on follow-up questions related to the topic we just discussed. These are designed to test your ability to discuss broader issues related to living in different places.
Right. These questions often require you to delve deeper into your reasoning, express opinions, and provide more detailed explanations.
All right, bring on the challenge. I'm ready for those follow-up questions. What's the first one?
Here's the first question. Why do many people choose to move to big cities?
Okay, I'd say that people move to big cities because they offer more job opportunities, better education, and access to healthcare. Big cities also have more entertainment options.
That's a valid point. But could you elaborate on those advantages? Think about the specific benefits of better education or healthcare in a big city. Could you give an example?
Okay, I understand. So for a Band 9 answer, I'd say many people migrate to big cities due to better career prospects, access to quality education, advanced healthcare facilities, and modern infrastructure. Additionally, urban areas provide diverse cultural experiences and social opportunities.
That's much better. You've expanded on your initial points and provided a more comprehensive and insightful answer.
It's really interesting to see how much depth a Band 9 answer requires. I'm starting to understand the importance of not just stating facts, but also explaining their significance and providing examples.
Absolutely. It's about demonstrating a deeper level of thinking and engaging with the question on a more nuanced level.
Okay, I'm ready for the next question. What else do you have for me?
All right, the next question is, what factors make a city livable?
For a Band 8 answer, I'd say a livable city should have good public transport, clean air, safety, schools, hospitals, and parks where people can relax.
That's a good list of factors. But notice how the Band 9 answer goes beyond just listing factors. It focuses on the impact those factors have on residents' lives. This demonstrates a deeper understanding of the question and a more sophisticated way of thinking. What would a more nuanced response sound like?
You're right. Thinking about it that way, I'd say. Livability depends on factors such as efficient public transportation, affordable housing, safety, access to healthcare and education, green spaces for recreation, and cultural amenities that enhance residents' quality of life.
Yes, that's much better. You've highlighted how those factors contribute to a higher quality of life, which shows a more analytical approach to the question. Now let's move on to the next one. What are the benefits of living close to one's workplace?
Okay, for Band-Aid, I'd say. Living near your workplace saves time because you don't have to travel far. It also reduces stress from traffic.
That's true. But how could you expand on those points using more impactful language? For example, instead of just saying it saves time, you could talk about minimizing commuting time, which sounds more formal and sophisticated. Could you try incorporating that into a Band 9 response?
Okay, I think I can do that. How about this? Living close to one's workplace minimizes commuting time, reduces transportation costs, and helps maintain a better work-life balance by allowing more time for personal activities or family.
Excellent. You've used stronger vocabulary and provided a more well-rounded answer by mentioning the financial and lifestyle benefits as well.
I'm really starting to get the hang of this. The key is to think beyond the obvious and explore the different facets of the question.
Exactly. It's about demonstrating a wider range of vocabulary and showcasing your ability to analyze and develop your ideas fully. Ready for the next question?
Definitely. Bring it on.
Okay, here it is. What kinds of places do people in your country prefer to live in?
Let's see, in Band 8 language, I'd say. In Bangladesh, people prefer living in cities like Dhaka or Chittagong because they have more jobs and facilities like schools or hospitals.
That's a reasonable observation. However, remember that a Band 9 answer often considers a wider range of perspectives. Could you think about different preferences within your country and perhaps contrast those with the preferences of people in India based on your earlier response?
Oh, I see. So a Band 9 answer might sound like this. In India, preferences vary. Urban dwellers often choose metropolitan cities like Mumbai or Bengaluru for career opportunities, while others prefer smaller towns or suburbs for their peaceful environment and lower cost of living.
Yes, that's a much stronger answer. You've acknowledged that preferences can vary and provided contrasting examples, showcasing a deeper understanding of the complexities of living choices.
Okay, I'm ready for the next challenge.
All right, here's the next one. What should people prepare before they move to a different city?
From a Band 8 perspective, I'd say, people should find a place to stay first and check if it's close to their workplace or school. They should also plan their budget for living expenses.
That's a practical approach. However, think about the language you're using. Instead of find a place to stay, could you use a more sophisticated phrase like research housing options? And instead of plan their budget, you could say plan their finances carefully, which demonstrates a more nuanced understanding of financial planning. Now try integrating those improvements into a Band 9 answer.
Okay, here's what I'd say for Band 9. Before moving to a new city, individuals should research housing options near their workplace or amenities like schools or hospitals. They should also plan their finances carefully by estimating living costs and understanding local transportation systems.
That's much better. You've replaced common phrases with more sophisticated vocabulary, demonstrating a wider range of lexical resources. You've also expanded on the financial planning aspect by mentioning transportation, which shows attention to detail.
I'm definitely noticing a pattern here. The Band 9 answers require me to really think about the language I'm using and how I can make it more precise and impactful.
Exactly. It's about demonstrating your command of the English language and your ability to express your ideas in a clear and compelling way.
All right, what's the final question?
Here it is. Why do people move from one place to another?
In Band 8 language, I'd say, people move for better jobs, education, or living conditions. Sometimes they move because they want more space or peace.
That's a good start. However, remember that a Band 9 answer often explores a wider range of reasons. Think beyond the obvious and consider factors like family ties, lifestyle preferences, or even environmental concerns. How could you incorporate those into a more comprehensive response?
Okay, here's what a Band 9 answer might sound like. People relocate for various reasons, such as career advancement, higher education opportunities, better living standards, or proximity to family members. Others may move due to lifestyle preferences or environmental factors like cleaner air or less congestion.
Excellent. That's a great example of a Band 9 answer. You've considered a variety of reasons for moving, demonstrating a broader understanding of the topic and a more sophisticated use of language.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground. It's
Stuff.
fascinating to see how even subtle shifts in vocabulary and the level of detail can make a big difference in the IELTS scoring.
Absolutely. It's all about showcasing your language skills and demonstrating your ability to communicate effectively. Now, let's take a step back and analyze what we've learned from these examples.
Yes, let's break down what makes those Band 9 answers stand out. So what are the key takeaways here? What makes those Band 9 answers consistently shine compared to Band 8?
One thing that really jumps out at me is the vocabulary.
Yeah,
The Band 9 answers consistently use more sophisticated and precise language.
right. Like using minimizes commuting time instead of just saves time, or research housing options instead of find a place to stay.
Exactly. It's about demonstrating a wider range of vocabulary and choosing words that are more formal and impactful.
I also noticed that the Band 9 answers went beyond simply stating facts. They provided deeper explanations and examples to support their points.
Yeah, that's another crucial element. For example, when discussing the benefits of living close to work, the Bannon answer didn't just mention saving time, but also highlighted the positive impact on work-life balance.
Oh, and I loved how those Band 9 answers often incorporated specific details like mentioning Coven Park and Lal Ba Botanical Garden in Bengaluru.
Yeah.
It made the answers so much more engaging and memorable.
Absolutely. Those details add authenticity and demonstrate a deeper level of engagement with the topic. It shows the examiner that you're not just reciting memorized answers, but actually thinking critically and drawing on your own experiences and knowledge.
This has been incredibly insightful. I feel like I've gained a much clearer understanding of what it takes to achieve a higher band score in the IELTS speaking exam.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is that you've essentially been able to reverse engineer the scoring process by comparing those Band 8 and Band 9 answers. It's like having a secret decoder ring for the exam.
So for our listeners out there who are prepping for their own IELTS speaking exam, what's the one key piece of advice they should take away from this deep dive?
I would say focus on demonstrating depth in your answers. Don't just state the obvious, delve deeper, provide explanations, and support your points with relevant examples. It's about showcasing your ability to think critically and communicate your ideas effectively.
Great advice. And remember, you're not just trying to impress the examiner, you're ultimately developing valuable communication skills that will benefit you far beyond the exam itself.
Well said. It's about expanding your ability to express yourself clearly and confidently in English.
That wraps up our deep dive into the IELTS speaking exam. We've simulated the exam experience, analyzed real Band 8 and Band 9 answers, and extracted valuable insights into what examiners are looking for. Hopefully you feel more confident and prepared to tackle your own IELTS journey.
Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep honing your skills, expanding your vocabulary, and, most importantly, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every stumble is an opportunity to learn and grow.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration of knowledge and ideas.